Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. On one second, I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. Okay. Just checking on something. Hello. Welcome to Untangled. We're on episode 147. I am so happy to be here with you guys. What a gift to be alive on this planet at a time where we are really starting to see through all the BS. I got a fiery one for you guys today. I'm on fire. I'm not happy. I'm happy, but I'm the layers and layers of mind control, manipulation, and absolute utter ridiculousness, really. It just doesn't end. I can't believe what we have been told to believe. We are so deeply programmed. I don't know where to start. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. If you like this video, click the little stinking thumbs up button and, all the things that they tell us to do. I don't even want to, I'm so tired of programming. I'm so tired of the systems and the way it works. I just don't want any part of it. Okay, let's talk about this for a moment. Let's dive into this. Okay, where do we begin? The biggest cover up that this entire planet is going to come into awareness on is God. The amount of programming around God, the different paths that you can take around what you believe God to be, how you access God, whether God's inside of you, whether God's out there, whether God's at the pearly gates of heaven, whether God is based on this book that's been written or this book that's been written, whether God is about following this way of this preacher or this pastor or this pope or all the things, right? No, you got to do this. No, you got to do this. You got to follow these rules. No, you don't say God, you have to say universe. Well, no, you should be saying source, you should be saying creator, you don't do it this way. It's all freaking nonsense. It is all programming. It's all a distraction to just keep us in the loops that they've been keeping us in for thousands of years. Because God forbid it should be simple and easy and direct. Our divine Our natural divine abilities that the body is designed to do is to hold the light of God through the divine energetic connection between your physical vessel and that creator source. This is how it's divinely laid out. This is how it is divinely created. Just like a tree is divinely created to do what it does, a flower is divinely created to do what it does, a bee is divinely created to do what it does. Our bodies are divinely designed to be able to hold the light of God inside of it so that the human can live godlike as human. This is the original creation of the human body when it was in the fifth dimensional state of being millions of years ago. We are currently in that exact same body, just in a denser dimensional field. So we have the same components within us that are allowing us to be able to realign and connect to the light of Creator, bringing that energetic cord down, connecting us into the particle called the God particle, which activates God's essence within us. So we begin to live godlike in the human form. It is literally that simple. It doesn't matter what freaking word you use. It doesn't matter if you believe God is in you or out of you. It doesn't matter if you believe all these different religious contexts. It doesn't matter if you read this book or that book. It doesn't matter if you decide you're going to follow this pastor or this pope and figure out that maybe I have to go this way to find God. None of that matters. That is all Program. Do you know what program is? Of course you do. Program is stories. Programs are stories. When you want to get to the truth of something, you get rid of all the story and you find the most simple answer. That's truth. Truth is simple. Truth is always simple. Truth is direct. Truth makes the most sense because it's nature. You can't lie about nature. You look at nature. Can you make up all these stories about really what's happening with the tree? And actually, what's really going on with the tree is first it has to do this, and then it has to go and do this, and then it manipulates it. It's all what? You look at a tree and you're like, oh yeah, that's how the tree. It's simple. That's what a flower does. Simple. We're just like nature. Simple. This entire planet has been corrupted with programs that are distractive and confusing so that we think that we have to figure everything out and it's complicated and we need all these people to help us and we need all this information for us to digest and understand and have you ever read Jesus's teachings in the gospel? You know how simple they are? Not the Old Testament. That's way too complicated because that's man. I'm talking about just the simple gospel, the red letters, the parts that he actually said. Simple. It's freaking so simple, it's ridiculous. This entire battle that you and I are in right now, this spiritual battle that you and I are coming out of, we will not be held down. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to it's not happening. It's not happening. I'm going to scream this from the rooftops no matter what, because you and I have been manipulated into believing things about God, creator, source, universe, no God, yes God, in me, not in me, all that nonsense. The powers that have been controlling this planet, they don't care what you think about God, just so long as you forget how to actually connect to the light of God, the nectar, the living, breathing waters of God that will set you free, that will heal your entire life. It will heal your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul. It will connect you back into your soul. Your soul has been taken hostage in a way. Your light has been taken hostage. They have literally disconnected you from God. I don't care if you follow a religion and you're like, no, 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 I found God. I'm telling you right now, not a popular opinion, but I'm telling you right now, 99.9% of us have not actually plugged back in to our natural state of breathing and living God's light in us. If we were, this would be very different out here. Very different. It is impossible for us to be plugged in to the breathing, living waters of God, literally soaking it in, breathing it in, eating it in like food, and be the way we are on this planet. Wouldn't happen. That's the power of God's light. That's the power of Creator's light. The second it starts to come into you, your life's going to change, no matter how you decide to go and figure this out. The second you start breathing God's light into your body as the nectar, this living, breathing nectar, your entire life is going to slowly begin to change. And the powers that have been controlling this entire planet, don't want you to remember this. So they're going to try to manipulate all the different stories around how to access this creator so that you don't do it correctly. They're not dumb. They're way smarter than you realize. They're so freaking intelligent. And they've been doing this for thousands of years. This is your first lifetime that you remember. So it's like kind of like your first lifetime doing this again, even if you've been here 100 times, it's your first time around again. You forget how smart they are. So you drop in and you start living this human life and you're like, huh, caught up once again in all the nonsense and all the BS, all the different stories. We forget. All you have to do, I mean, it's in front of our faces. It's nature. Any story they tell you, anything that's complicated, you wanna run from, okay? Anything that complicates things, you wanna run from. Anything that's telling you how to do it, like, you gotta follow these rules, you wanna run from. Anything that is putting something in front of or in the middle of you and God, you wanna run from. The truth is, the most powerful remembrance that we could have is that our vessels are these intelligent divine devices that are naturally designed to begin to plug back into the light of God. And by the way, my friend, another not popular belief or opinion, but you're not connected into God's light. Humanity is not connected into God's light. I'm sorry, but you're not. We have to be humble about this. If we were, we would be living differently. Trust me. There would not be the type of division that you see on social media. There wouldn't be the type of anger that we see in the world. There wouldn't be the type of limiting beliefs that you're fighting in your mind. We wouldn't be as addicted to things as we are. All the ways we live, we are going to stop living when our bodies begin to plug back into the Creator. Now, unfortunately, we think because we're told that we are. We think we are God. I'm God. We're all one. They want you to keep believing that. Please keep believing that we are all, of course, we're all one. Of course, we all came from the same creator. Of course. But your humanity isn't, the ones that believe that aren't doing anything to actually allow that awareness to change their lives. Like, is your life changing for the better through that awareness? Truly, is your life changing for the better? Do you feel better? Do you feel more calm? Not because you're buying all these courses or you're listening, like, not because you're taking things from the external world and doing things with them. Naturally, are you starting to live with more calm, more peace, more love, more centeredness, more compassion? Or is it the same old, same old? Are you still searching? Are you still trying to find, and I'm saying this with as much compassion as I possibly can because I'm in the same shoes as you are, and I'm starting to pop out of this and say, "Oh my God." The more I start living and breathing with the light of God in me, the more I sit and invite the light of God into my body all day for hours, every day, the more my life is changing. The more I'm starting to wake up and say, "Holy freaking cow, this is the answer to everything," and nobody's recognizing it. Everyone thinks they're doing it and they're not doing it because they don't realize that they're being convinced and coerced to be programmed into these beliefs that they're doing it when they're not actually doing it. They just think they're doing it because they're being told all these stories of what they're supposed to be doing, but that's the program. That's the program. Your life will start changing, my friend. Your life will start changing. This is your birthright. Your birthright. You are birthed into this human experience to remember this. This is what you came to remember. This is what you came to remember. This. This is what you came to be. This is what you came to plug back into. This is it. Everything else is stories and extra stuff. We came here to evolve back into God-like humans. We came to break out of every system and program, including the God programs. We came to remember, oh my God, it's so simple. It's me, my body, plugging back into the Creator on my own, just doing a little plug in, Let me see, how do I do this? And we can talk about that later, the kind of remembering of the how, because you have a God particle in you. Every human body has a God particle. It is a particle that has been divinely placed inside your beautiful human body, delicately and on purpose to activate once the body is connected back into source, that gives you the remembrance of how to be God-like on this human experience. It doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter what all the different books you read. It's all great information. Everything is a program. How do you know when you're no longer in a program? Because there's nothing that's feeding you outside of God's light. And when you are plugged back into God's light and you start, feeding yourself on other things, you realize that you're just consuming things that is just information. It's just fun stuff. But the truth of everything, your state of being, your truth, your light, your love, all of it stems from the creator's light coming in. Your whole life will start changing. Everything that used to be important won't be important. When people come at you and they're mean to you and they want to take you down, you find compassion for them. You understand their suffering and their pain. You don't fight back. You don't yell back at them. You see everything from a totally different lens. All of the things that you've been trying to fight for and you want so badly in your life, they start to fall away because the light of God comes in and you're like, none of that really matters. What matters is that I can be here on this planet with an open heart, having compassion and kindness for people, trying to help others, serve others. Everything starts to change. We learn about this. We try to do it on our own, but you can't do this on your own. This is why this is the wave of God's light coming in and literally um, wiping out all of the or shining light on all the programming on this planet is the greatest gift that we could possibly experience right now. It is it's incredible. And I'm fascinated by there's a fire in me because it feels very much like when we were fighting for our bodies during COVID, It's like, "You're not gonna tell me what to do with my body. Have you lost your mind? You're not gonna tell me these lies." It's the same thing with the God stories. Don't tell me what I should or shouldn't believe with God. Don't tell me what words I should or shouldn't use. Don't tell me what books I should or shouldn't read. No, 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 no. I see your manipulation, and I'm not talking about specific religious systems. I'm talking about the overarching group of humans, half humans, that have been in charge of controlling this planet for thousands of years. I'm talking to them. It's beyond getting upset over which religion is correct, which word is correct, who's right and wrong. It is bigger than that. It's overarching all of that. It's outside of all that little nitty-gritty crap that we argue about. They want us in that nitty-gritty arguing so that we don't actually see them controlling it all. I see them. I saw them during 9/11. I saw them during the JFK. I saw them during the MLK. I saw them during COVID. I see them all the time. They want us to get lost in the details of the stories they tell us. These are the people and the energies that we're actually fighting. That's what we are fighting ourselves to break free from. What are they telling me to believe? What are they telling me not to believe? What are they telling me is the right way or the wrong way? Who are they? Where did this system come from? Where did these stories come from? Why am I arguing with people online about nonsense that's just being fed to us? Pause. Wait a second. Where's God? Who's God to me? Not what this person tells me, not what that person tells me, not what that book tells me, not what that book tells me. Where is my divine connection with God, and is it changing my life? And if it's not changing your life, then you haven't yet connected into it. When you start connecting your physical form into the outside light of God, which is the source, your life will change. Period. That's the evolution in human consciousness. That's when you begin to break free. That's when you begin to start crying every day saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe that this was the answer. I can't believe this is it." And it's going to make so much sense to you. It is a breaking out of the matrix in a way that you didn't even realize you needed. And then you realize you don't ever need to break out of the matrix. You can chill out in the matrix for the rest of your life because you love the fact that you figured it out inside the matrix. When you are living with God's energy flowing through you, you don't need to leave at the matrix. You don't need to leave anything. You don't need, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. I feel like I have opened up Pandora's box, and there is nothing else on this planet that I want to scream from the top of the rooftops than the God particle. And I am committed to figuring out how to activate it within myself with the help of God and with the help of Jesus so that I can go and remind the entire freaking world how to activate it so that we break free. You know, I've been doing this 40-day class. I did 40 days of sitting with God. The first class was in, I don't know when we did the first class, February, July. And then I did my second one. We're almost done. And I had no idea what I was doing. I just heard God say, do 40 days sitting with God. And I was like, okay, that sounds dramatic and a lot of work, but I'll do it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do it. And it changed people's lives in ways I didn't even know was going to happen, like miraculous shifts in people's lives. And I didn't do anything. I did nothing. I sat and I pulled God in. They pulled God in. We just chilled with God, changed their lives. Subtly changed their lives. In subtle ways, it changed their lives. And it's continuing to. And that doesn't mean that we don't walk out into the world and have all the ups and downs. Just because you start to recognize, oh my freaking God, it's as easy as plugging back in and inviting God's light back down into my body, doesn't mean this is the program. This is another deep program, especially if you're in the spiritual communities. You think that all of a sudden life's just going to be grandiose and like, oh, I have no problems in the world. No, you're still human. We're still going to have all the ups and downs. You're just now going to be living through it very differently, very differently. And you're not gonna have to pretend, you're not gonna have to take anything to do it, you're not gonna have to, like, contort yourself into some way of being, you're not gonna have to, like, you know, do these positive thinking gymnastics in your brain, you're not gonna have to figure out all these steps to, like, master emotions, this is all complicated stuff that helps humanity until humanity starts to realize, "Oh my god, what if it's just as simple as going and plugging back into God?" What if that really is the solution? What if that's the freaking solution? And by the way, it is. And the only reason that I am screaming this from the rooftops from this point forward, and I think it is by far the number one biggest program that this planet lives under, is because in the last couple of months of me doing this, my life is so different. I don't even have words for it. I have no words. Things that I have struggled with my whole life are just gone. Things that I have circled around in my life for years are gone, like not in the field, not like gone. The way I deal with people, completely different. What I think is important in life, completely different. You know what it's like? It's like if you were to have a near death experience. You know, people that have near death experiences and they come back and they're completely changed instantaneously. You want to know why? Because they felt the light of God. That's why. You're changed forever. Forever. The true light of God, when it hits you, when you're God smacked, you know that band God smacked, when you are smacked by God, the light of God, you're never going to be the same. And then you just want more of it. You want more of that nectar. You want more of that. You want more of it because you know that this is the living waters. This is my life force. This is where life comes from. This is what is going to feed me, not everything they're telling me out there. That all of that makes no you can see right through it. The way they have manipulated us to such a capacity to believe that these fleshly things in the world, all these things that you want all the money, you want the houses and the cars, you want the fancy this, and you want they dangle it like it's freaking God. People literally sell their souls to be able to have these things out there in the world because they put them up as idols. They replace God with these things. And the systems that have been in place controlling you, they're telling you that this is better than God. It's going to make you happier. This is going to make you freer. Or this is what God would want. This is how God does it. This is how God lives. No, it's not. No. Nothing replaces the light of God, nothing, no money, no house, no relationship, nothing. And when you start drinking that, when you start experiencing it in your body, truly experiencing it moving through your body, you don't have to speak about how you're loving and kind and compassionate and you're a humble person and you follow God and you do the right things. You don't have to do that. You just live it. You just live it. People that talk about it all the time are not living it. You just live God. You start living God-like. And you start looking out and saying, "Holy freaking what the freak? You deserve this. You deserve it. You deserve to not be in these loops. You deserve to stop being mind controlled and manipulated. You deserve to start waking up out of the illusion that there's something wrong with you, that you've been doing this all wrong. Waking up out of the loop that you can that you need to blame it on this person or blame it on this religion or blame it on this. Blame it on yourself. We put so much pressure on ourselves where we weight ourselves down because they want us to. They want you to think that it's about you. They want you to think there's something wrong with you. They want you to think that you need to fix yourself. You better go fix yourself. You got trauma. You got a lot of you got stuff you need to deal with. We got all kinds of things out here that are going to help you. You want God? Here, I'll serve you God this way. No, you're done. You are done. Call it quits. Someone's telling you something, sorry, I'm going to now mute you and I'm going to figure out how my body is going to now connect to God. Stop the presses. Stop the noise, stop the distraction. Stop telling me what to do. Stop telling me what to do. Stop telling me what to think. Stop telling me who I am. Stop it. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of people telling me what to think, what to do, how to do it, who to follow, who not to follow, who to listen to, who not to listen to. Stop it. Go straight to God. If you go straight to God, and I'm talking, you take your body and you sit down in silence You turn off everything and you say, God, I want the light of God in me. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this. I don't know. But if this is true, I want the light of God to start coming down into me. I want the light of God to start coming down into me. I want the light of God to start coming down into me. I want the light of God to start coming down into me. I want the light of God to descend down into my body. I want the light of God to fill up every single cell and bone and nerve and ligament in my freaking body. I want to breathe the light of God through my body. I am opening myself up for the light of God to come down into my body. Turn off the noise, turn off everybody's opinions. Turn off how everybody else thinks that you need to be and do. And it's really about your trauma. You should probably just do this. It's about your attachment styles. You should really look at this. It's probably about all the food you're eating. You should probably do this. No, you need to actually read this. And if you read this, then you're really going to figure it out. Anyone else sick and tired of this? Is anyone else sick and tired of the way everybody is trying to tell everybody else what to do, including myself, as I'm telling you right now what to do? We need to turn it all off and say, I'm pretty sure we're designed to live very differently than how we're living right now. And it's got to be simple. You guys know all this. It's in your DNA. This is just a remembrance. This is a remembrance. It's in your DNA. Remember this. Remember the God particle. Do you remember the God particle? Do you remember before you incarnated being told there's a God particle in you and it's going to be disconnected? And that at some point in this human journey, you are going to remember this God particle. And then you're going to have to somehow figure out how to realign and reconnect your physical body back into the one true light of God. Not anyone else, not through anyone else, straight to God. This is what Jesus was teaching the entire freaking time. This is what Jesus came to teach. This is it. This is the teaching. Let the light of God descend back down into you. Let the kingdom of heaven be found within you, because the particle of God that has been designed to be planted inside of your physical vessel is designed to activate. And when it does, your entire life changes. The way that you have been living won't even make sense anymore. You won't keep healing. You won't keep fixing your trauma. You won't keep fighting against people. You won't be in rage and in anger, not because you want it or don't want it, not because you're trying or not trying. It's because the light of God is beginning to move back down into you and you start to live in your natural state, which is godlike as a human persona. And that's what you are remembering. That's the truth of all of this. This is the path of evolution. This is what humanity is going to slowly and slowly and slowly begin to recognize. But the programming is so deep, it is so profound, it is so powerful that the second you say the word God, you think this. The second you say the word universe, you think this. The second you say the word Jesus, you think this. The second you say Bible, you think this. Everything is programmed. If I say a word and you go to some sort of instantaneous knowingness about it, you think about something, that's a program. That's how programmed we are. We are breaking out of such deep, deep programming that we don't even realize how programming works because we're so programmed. It has to work that way. Otherwise, it would be easy for us to unprogram ourselves and connect right back into the light of God. I'm going to tell you something. You can't be God. You can't all of a sudden be like, I'm going to be godlike. Godlikeness happens to you. It happens. It happens. It happens. You don't do it. You can't walk outside and be like, I'm just going to act. I'm going to be godlike today. It's very egocentric. It's very self-righteous. There is a humility. There is a humility and obedience that happens when you surrender entirely to God's light. You let God come back in and you let God show you. Because you are a persona, you are a personality, you are an ego. As much as you want to pretend that you're not, you are. That's what you're playing right now. And it wants to think that it knows how to do all of this. Look around at the world. You're going to hear and see this self-righteousness louder and louder and louder. And when God comes in, you soften. You become humble. You are in awe of the fact that, like, "Holy cow, I can't do this. I do not know. I do not know. God, take the wheel. Take the freaking wheel." That's why there's this, that famous statement of let go and let God. Truly, let go and let God. We have to understand what that really means. It's a whole other level than what we understood. Let go and let God. The moment you think you're doing it is the moment that you are no longer aligned with God's light coming in, because you don't do it. God does it. Like, yeah, when God starts integrating more and more into your body, you feel it more and more, but you realize you're not doing it. Something bigger and greater than you is doing it, and then it begins to integrate into you. This is what they do not want. They do not want you to know this. They don't want you to do this. They don't want you to practice this. You won't be controllable. You won't buy all their stuff. You won't argue with people. You won't create division. You won't continue to be manipulated. You won't live in the same energetic space that they need you to live in. And then what happens when you begin to do this is they come at you energetically through the mind. You start being infiltrated by people you know. People get very triggered when you start to step out of the systems that they're in, and you start to go straight to God and let God's light come through you, because it is so pure and it's so true and it's so honest. There's nothing else like it. So when you start letting that move through you, it can do a lot of weird things to people around you. Weird stuff comes out of the woodworks. Like, it's very strange. I don't even have words for it. But people get weird. They don't they're not used to it. They're triggered by it. There's energies within them that get triggered by it. Um, your mind gets infiltrated. This spiritual battle and the spiritual thing that we're in is it's very real. It's very human. It's very in the body, you know? Um, and it all happens in the body. God happens in your body. God descends down into your body. So I'll just leave you with this. If you want to start practicing this, if this is if you're curious around this, well, first of all, if you're in the 40-day class, you've already been experiencing it. So, the only reason that there is any sort of um eh, the mind is very, very, very powerful. So we just want to always be careful of the mind. But anyway, if you're curious about this and you're just like, well, let me see what she's talking about here, set your phone alarm for 5 or 10 minutes in silence, which they don't want you to do. That's why they have us addicted to everything. It's not just because, like, you know, social media is so great. There's a method behind all this madness. There always has been. So, sit quietly in silence for 10 minutes. Can you do that without losing your mind? And when you do, and you sit and close your eyes, just simply do this. Just simply invite. Say it to yourself, say it out loud, whatever you want to do. But I'm inviting in the light of God. I'm inviting the light of God into my body. Now, do yourself a favor. Try not to have an expectation or attachment of feeling anything, hearing anything, or experiencing anything. Okay? Try not to. Because if you do that, you're going to be frustrated with yourself. Because what if there's nothing that you see, feel, hear, or experience? Doesn't mean it's not happening. Okay. So, one of the challenges that humans will have when they begin to plug back into creator, and then start activating the God particle, is that they will get frustrated that nothing's happening. They're not feeling anything, seeing anything, blah, 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 blah. And it will stop them. Perfect. That's what they want. Awesome. They tried it a couple times and they realize it's not going to work. It's not even real. They get right back into the distraction because, my friends, the distractions feed you immediately. It feeds you immediately. It's like you go out there and you find something and it's going to give you exactly what you want immediately. Why isn't God doing that? If God's so great, shouldn't God be giving me that immediately? I don't want to wait around. I want what the immediate gratification. And in fact, I don't have 10 minutes. Lori, I have 1 minute because I can go turn on my social media and in 1 minute I can be filled up with stuff. I could buy something on Amazon and in 2 minutes it's going to be at my house tomorrow. Everything is given to me, Lori, instantaneously. The world shows me how I should be receiving immediately. You want me to sit quietly for 10 minutes and receive absolutely nothing and you're going to tell me that that's how what's going to change my life? Yeah, because it's the opposite of what has been controlling your life. Yes, that is what I'm saying. Do you have the courage? Do you have the commitment? Do you have the obedience to do it? Because this isn't going to be easy. This isn't gonna they want you to not do what it is that you are naturally designed to do to break free. So they're gonna give you everything as fast. They're gonna make things so fast and easy for you going forward. They already have. That you won't have the patience and the commitment and the wherewithal to sit and actually do what is necessary to connect back into the light of God. And so we'll just be on this roller coaster merry-go-round until we say, you know what? I'm done. I'm willing to sacrifice boredom every day to receive my natural state of being. I'm not going to you can do the ayahuasca and all that stuff, but it's not you cannot do this without sitting daily. You have to commit. You have to do the work. We don't like knowing that. We don't like hearing that. And so if you do this, my friend, and I highly, 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 highly encourage you, my friend, to do this. I highly encourage you. Please do this. Please try it out. Please, please try it. What do you have to lose? By the way, it's free. In case you're wondering, it's free. It's another thing. It's like everything's supposed to cost a lot of money because then it has a value. It's the biggest freaking program. This program drives me nuts. This program, I'm trying to find the light of God in me when I talk about this program. But this program gets me. Oof. That if you don't charge a lot of money for something, then there's not value in it. If you're not paying a lot of money for something, there's not value in it. Come again? Since when did putting a price tag on something create value? What? I will not play in that one. Can I raise my hand? And that's the one that's the one of them I don't nope. Mm-mm. If you value yourself, you'll spend the money. Come again? No. God's free. God's free. Now, if you're working, you need to make money, you're spending your time doing things. Okay, we charge things, we need to make money, we need to pay our bills. 100%. But the programming and idea that you got to charge a lot of money for things in order for it to be valued, that's not that's I can't get on that train. I can't get on that gravy train. Okay, back to you. Here's what you're going to do, my friend. Try it out, see what happens. Let all expectation and attachment go. Remember, the world has programmed you, okay, to get instant gratification. So, what that means is that you are expecting yourself to feel something immediately, receive something immediately, be validated immediately, gratified immediately. This is how you've been programmed. We all have, okay? So, please just be aware of that. You're going to think that nothing's happening because you're used to the world giving you all these things immediately, and that's how they get you addicted. That's called addiction. right? That's why we get addicted to things. We do it once, we get an amazing result. We do it again, we get an amazing result. We keep doing it to get that same result. Addiction. Welcome to the entire world. God doesn't work in that way. God doesn't work in that way. God needs your commitment, right? And God needs you to sit quietly. God needs you to be bored. God needs you to surrender. God needs you to let go. You're not in charge when you commit to letting God's light come in and change your entire world. You want to stop healing yourself? You want to stop being in suffering? You want the mental torture to go away? I'm giving you a solution. You're gonna have to get out of the way though, and also a lot of the work of your life is gonna change. The things that you really wanna hold on to, you're probably not going to, but it's gonna be so incredible. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Okay, back to you. Okay. Ah, sit quietly, 5 minutes to 10 minutes, silence, eyes are closed, and just I'm inviting in the light of God. I am remembering how this works, and I am choosing to invite God's light back into my body to activate the God particle. I am ready. I know I can do this. God, I know you hear me as the creator that you are, the light that you are. God is not a man in the pearly gates of heaven waiting to judge you. God is a light that is intelligent. It's the omnipresent light of everything, and it is ready and willing to come back in and say, hello, welcome home. Here we go. Are you ready for the ride of a lifetime? This is why you came onto the planet. Let's go. And you start to break free and ride the roller coaster ride of being a human but living more and more godlike. And you start looking out at the world and saying, holy rabbits of all rabbits, this is what the heck we've been in. And then all you're going to want to do is serve the planet. All you're going to want to do is serve it. All you're going to want to do is show people. All you're going to want to do is say, oh my God, you guys, all you have to do is sit quietly, close your eyes, invite the light of God in. I swear to God, your whole life's going to change. Watch. This is gonna happen. This will be a wave in the next 15, 20, 25 years, but it's gonna take a while. I mean, listen, 9/11 happened in 2001. Don't even talk to me about how many years it took for people to wake up to that. But we're in 2025, so you're talking 24 years later, and yeah, we're more awake, but are we really that different than we were 24 years ago? I don't know. So we have this idea of like, oh, we're going to be able to like in 5 years we're going to be so different. Like, well, let's hone it back in a little, right? So this does take time, but get going. Let's get going. I need you guys to do it so that you could then tell me like, "Oh my god, it's working." And then we can be these like grassroots warriors telling everybody that this is real and this is how it works and here's the testimonials. I need your testimonials. I need your testimonials. I need you to do this. I need you to start bringing in the light of God with me. And I need you to start letting me know how it's changing your life. It's going to inspire me. It's going to inspire you. It's going to inspire everybody else. And then we're going to be like, oh, it's going to give you motivation because it's going to give me motivation and everybody else motivation. Then we're going to be like, oh my God, this is real. This is actually what's happening. This is actually the evolution in human consciousness. I've never had my do you know how many people thank you for that super chat, Captain Faye. Do you know how many people in my 40-day class, they're like, I've done all kinds of stuff. I've sat in meditation. I've taken all kinds of classes. I've gone to ashrams. I've done everything. And I have never, ever, ever felt the way I feel now in this 40-day class. I actually know God. Do you know how many people have said, I actually know what God feels like now? I thought I knew. I had no idea. Many people have said that. I thought I knew, I had no idea. We think we know God. We think we know what it feels like, what it is because it's in our minds or we've had one moment. Let's let God start changing our entire lives because we're realizing that we have been manipulated and controlled, mind controlled massively to be disconnected and separated from it, but told that we're connected, told that we are, told that everything's inside of us, so that we stay conditioned and programmed, not actually living with the light of God in us, which is when everything falls away. Everything falls away. Everything. All right, that's my rampage. I don't know, you guys. I'm on fire. I have caught a fire that just I apologize if this is not the energy you want, but the light's coming in. The light's coming in. Let there be light. The light's coming in and showing my grays. Got to get those covered up. Got to get those covered up. Okay, you guys, please, 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 please go do this for me. Please email me when you do it, if you do it. And you need to do this regularly, my friends. You can't just sit once. Again, the system has you convinced that you just do something once, they feed you the result, and then you keep going back to them. Okay? So with God, you got to be a little more patient. If you knock, they answer. It answers, right? If you ask, it answers. God's always there. You say God's light, the light of God is coming in. I am breathing in the light of God. I am breathing in the living waters of God. That's what your breath is for. By the way, you don't have to be enlightened. You don't have to be a master. You don't have to be a teacher. You don't have to have all your things healed. You can be as messed up as you want. And guess what? It's your birthright. Guess what? It's your birthright. Jesus chose some of the most whacked out weirdos to do his work. He wasn't looking for the most, enlightened religious ones that had all their crap together because they don't. The ones you think are all put together, they're the most messed up, perhaps. So you don't have to wait. There's no such thing as, oh, I got to fix something first. I got to heal something first. That's the program. I got to fix my relationship first. I got to navigate this trauma in my body first. I got to figure out how to regulate my nervous system first. No, you don't. That all gets worked out when God's light comes in. Trust me. All of that gets settled and put into place. Let God do that for you. Let God's light do that for you. How about that? Let God's light do what you've been doing for so long. I'm giving you an easy, simple solution here that I'm pretty convinced will work if you just do it on the regular. Okay, now when you do it on the regular, email me and let me know what happens. Do you understand what you guys are doing here? Do you understand what you're doing here? You can demand that the suffering on earth ends now. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden the suffering on the earth is going to end, but you can sure as heck pray for it. And we should be praying for it every single day. All right. Y'all get it? Y'all understand your homework? Y'all understand your homework here. You need to step up. You came here for this. It's your homework. Please don't tell me that listen. Okay, just do it. Okay, some of you understand your homework. Some of you understand. Okay, good. Um, great coffee must brew. Great coffee is not instant. It's true. Takes time. Takes time. Will there be another 40 days with God after this one? Yes, we're gonna do a 21 days with Jesus class in January, and then we're gonna do the next 40-day class in February. So not until February, unfortunately. Unless I decide to do it in the middle of the Jesus class, but um, that one's gonna be super powerful too, but different. We'll see. Right now, I don't know. I don't really wanna wait till February, but we'll see, maybe January. Um And if you are doing this and you're like, "Oh, nothing's happening," just be aware of thought. Be aware of the thought. If there's no thought of expectation or attachment, hold on because it'll something's going to happen, you know? You want to be aware of any thought that comes in that you're grabbing that's kind of trying to pull you into, you know, something should be happening. Um How do you handle those who are triggered when you do this work and you still need to spend time with them? Um, yeah, that's hard. Um, if you have to spend time with people that get triggered by what you're doing, if I were in your shoes, I would ask the light of God to work through me. I would ask the light of God to work through me. So if I was having to be around people that were really triggered or off-putting or didn't resonate, or they were just like it was just divisive in a way or rubbing the wrong way, I would consciously, every time I was around them, I would just constantly invite God's light into me even more. And I would really consciously say, God, work through me today. God, please work through my body. Please work through my heart. Please work through my voice. Work through me. Please work through me. And what starts to happen in those moments when you do it is that you're bringing conscious awareness to the fact that the light of God is going to be with you. It is going to move out of your body. And you're also bringing conscious awareness to the challenge of being human, reacting and responding in the human way, and leaving space for God's light to also be a part of it. So we don't want to beat ourselves up because we're human, right? Because of course we are. Like we're going to have all of the um, reactions. But can I also invite God into this moment to try to impact people as this person as well, or impact how I am with them? Does that make sense? Um, okay, you guys, there you go. I'm excited to see how it goes for everyone. I really am. Let me know, please. I'm serious about this. Email me, contact@lorieladd.com. Email me. Um, and if you want to be on fire with us, join my SOAR community because we are diving deep into this. It is my sole focus. uh, it's my sole focus is getting us back into the alignment and connection with God and activating that God particle. So if you really do want to, if you're serious about it and you want to kind of explore and dive more into it, I really encourage you to join our SOAR community. Um, you can try it out. But yeah, we're diving into it. I love you guys. How do I share this with my adult children who are victims of that programming? Be an example, Tammy. I think your name was Tammy. Be an example. It's hard to kind of tell people things. You know, you don't want to be the person that's trying to convince someone, or um, people don't like to be told, you know, what they're doing right or what they're doing wrong, or what to do or what not to do. It's what I would do is start just being you, the way you're changing, the way you're shifting, the way you're being. The way you be is going to have a bigger impact than anything. So if you're starting to live deeper with the light of God in you, and you're finding yourself in more calm and more peace, people are going to notice it. Trust me. And they're going to say, "What are you doing? You're different." They're going to get curious. Um, A lot of times we really wanna get people we wanna point to people, like, what they're doing wrong, what they're not seeing, but that's not your job, that's not my job. And who are we to say what they're doing is wrong? Who are we to say that our way is the right way or their way is the right way? That's not fair, you know? I don't go around and tell people, like, "You're programmed, you're programmed, you're programmed, you're programmed." right? I would never do that. Now I teach it I'll scream it from the rooftops as a teaching, but I would never go to people and tell them that. I would simply just live the way I'm living and let my living be an example of what's happening on the planet. It's very difficult, right? Because we really wanna help people. We really want them to understand what we understand, but, um, personally, I just don't think that that's the best way of doing it. I think living it as an example is the best way. It's much more it's non-intrusive, um, and, um or non-invasive? Non-invasive. Is that a word? Yeah. Alright. Um, love you guys. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday. We got the fire. Go activate that God particle. I'm going to be doing a lot of I'm going to be doing a lot of in-person events next year. Hopefully you guys will join some of them. Um, activating us in person. Me and Jesus, we're going to go travel. We're going to activate the living light out of people. Living light out of people. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Mwah.